And if there's ever a reason to run behind, it's because you were closing a deal, and that's exactly what I was doing. So it is good to see everyone. I'm gonna pull up everything here. We're gonna have a little short show today, but I'm pumped to be here with y'all. I appreciate y'all as always. Let's see. Bingo. What up? All right. I see a couple of y'all are popping in here. Let me just get you guys. Boom. Yo, if you guys are tuning in live, give me a quick comment. Let me know that y'all can hear me. I think I had issues earlier with my mic on Zoom too, so I want to make sure that's not in the way here. Boom. What up, what up, what up? I see a couple of y'all. Bam. Yo, yo, yo. All right. Got everyone tagged up. Yo, if you guys are hearing me, if you are seeing me, give me a little love in the comments. Let me know that you guys are hearing me and seeing me. I'm making sure that we're streaming on all the platforms. I'm going to get into it here in a bit. I'm running a little bit behind. I know for good reason. I was pulling a deal, so but we got the deal. The deal is done. One thing, you guys, that I want to encourage you to do is never leave a good opportunity when you got one for something that might not show up, right? So I stuck it out on that deal, ended up pulling the card, pulled the deal, just got a pay in full on that sales call. Pretty stoked too, guy's really good guy. We'll be able to help him out, and I'm excited to be able to work with him. He seems like just an overall good dude. So that is a lot of fun. So that's where I was at. I love sales. You know that? I love sales. This is just such a good game. So fun. That was a really fun call too. I'm actually, if you guys want, I'm happy to kind of do a quick dissection of what I've been doing and playing with and what was working on that call. Or we could just dive right into dialing, whatever you guys want to do. I'm pretty chill. So this weekend's my daughter's birthday, which I'm pretty pumped about. Boom. There we go. What up, Yuri? Good to see you, dude. Yo, 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 Nicholas. Yes, I know the event starts at 12 p.m. EST sharp. At the same time, I was closing the deal, so I'm good with that. So I will close my deals, and if you want to criticize me for that, you're more than welcome to doing it. It will not affect my behavior one way, shape, or form. So let me see where y'all are at. Thank you. Yeah, my daughter turns 3 on Sunday. We're going to have a blast. I'm super pumped as proud dad. She got a report card back the other day, and it was like the cutest thing ever. The teacher was super, super sweet about her, and she's just a lot of fun. So we're really lucky, really, really blessed to have her. All right, who wants to get into this? Are y'all ready to start selling some stuff? Y'all ready for a little training? Give me some fire emojis in the chat, just so I know you guys are all fired up and you're ready to roll. Oh yeah, it is a great feeling, man. It is a great feeling. She's so cute, dude. Cool, give me some fire emojis if you guys are ready to roll. And I'm gonna hit some stuff. I had a bunch of stuff on training, but now I'm like, I'm reeling with ideas from this call that I just had. And I kind of want to start unpacking what happened there. So I'm going to talk about something that's super powerful. All right, let's do it. All right, fuck yeah, you guys. You guys are getting me fired up. Congrats, whoever. I think, is that Tyler? Your daughter just had the 9th birthday? Congrats, that's epic, man. Heck yeah. All right, let's roll. So one of the things that I've talked about a lot before, and if you guys are newer here, this might be your first time ever hearing about this. If you guys have been around, maybe you've heard me talk about this before, but a lot of times this goes over people's heads because it's so subtle. And a lot of times it's the stuff that's easy, that's simple, that's subtle. That's the stuff that we overlook, right? And I want to make sure that I really highlight this for you guys because it's a major tool and it's an asset that I use all the freaking time. This is one of the ways that you get people to really enjoy the process of buying from you. This is how you get people to feel and truly believe that purchasing is their own decision. It's how you can make suggestions without getting the type of resistance that you oftentimes would meet if you give someone a direct command. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I am a stubborn motherfucker, right? I am as stubborn as they get, dude. I feel bad for my wife sometimes because I am tough. And if I don't believe or don't want something, I can't change my mind just because someone wants me to. And that's kind of in my ethos, right? And so I get this point where it's like, oh, I feel this belief and this desire, and I want that, right? And so if you guys are like that, usually it's common among sales reps. A lot of you guys are like that because good sales reps tend to have sort of that same sort of energy of that like stubbornness and, you know, the ability to question everything and want to think for yourself and want to go against the grain. Like, that tends to be a part of what makes us become salespeople. But with that, this tool, as you guys are playing with this tool, you'll start to notice that it helps us get to the yes where they feel like it was their idea. And so the tool that I'm referring to is called an indirect suggestion. Now, this is something I want you guys to write down. Indirect suggestion. I want you guys to write this down because it's very simple, it's very subtle, but it's major. And so an indirect suggestion is a hypnotic tool. It comes from Ericksonian hypnosis. In fact, I thought it was funny. I did an interview with a client of mine last week, and his name's Dan. Great dude. He's been able to do amazing things. We put AI setters and we did group sales calls with Dan, and he was able to really take a pretty big leap in his sales and just like the whole process be so much easier. But he's a hypnotist. He's been a stage hypnotist since he's 13 years old, traveling around the country. He's done hypnosis at all kinds of conferences. He does all the colleges in Boston, and he's been a stage hypnotist for decades at this point. And he said to me, I thought it was cool. He's like, "You really are a hypnotist." And from him, as someone who's like identified as a hypnotist, he's like sees that. But there's genius shit in hypnosis. Like, if you guys are wanting to get good at influence and persuasion and you're not looking into hypnosis, I want to nudge you in that direction because there's some just insane, amazingly powerful ideas in there. And so an indirect suggestion is one of the most powerful ideas that I've ever come across inside of hypnosis or NLP or any of these advanced language technologies. Now, indirect suggestions come from Milton Erickson. And what Milton Erickson found was that when he gave specific people or certain types of people direct commands, stand up, raise your hand in the air, and he gave them direct commands like that, what would happen is they're often met with resistance. And in fact, I've been aware about this about myself for a while. And there was a time where I was on a team and the executive assistant to the business owner that I was working with would come at me with directives and give me direct commands. And I told her, I said, "Can you please rephrase these things as questions in the future because I don't respond well to direct commands," right? And I had to just tell her straight up, like, I don't respond well to you bossing me around. Like, if you ask me a question, and then I'll feel like it's my own idea and I want to help, but if you tell me what to do, I don't want to do it. And it's just an immediate feeling of like, when someone tells me what to do, I don't want to do it anymore, right? Or if someone tells me not to do something, well, wouldn't you know, all of a sudden that's exactly what I fucking want to do, right? Don't do this, and then it's like, oh, I have to do it. Or do this, and it's like, oh, I don't want to do this, right? And it's because effectively what's happening is we feel like the person's taking our free will. And when we feel like someone's taking our free will, we want to do the opposite to then express our free will. And so a lot of times this is going to happen if you're a strong-willed type of person. Yeah, I just saw Mr. Peter Alex said, I feel the same way, right? And this comes out if, especially you're strong-willed. And so if you look at family systems, they generally kind of bucket kids into 3 categories. You have strong-willed, you have more like a easygoing, and then you have a shy or introverted or like timid child, right? And so a lot of us in sales are strong-willed motherfuckers that just can't keep our mouth shut, and that's kind of how we get into this world. Same with entrepreneurs. A lot of us are entrepreneurs because we can't work for anybody else. And so the thing that make us this way is what makes us great at our jobs, right? This is why we're amazing at what we do. But being aware of the psychological patterns of, if I give someone a direct command, they're going to feel like I'm taking free will from them, and then they're going to want to resist the behavior, right? And so just by being aware of this is where indirect suggestions come into play. So what is an indirect suggestion? It's probably easier if I demonstrate an indirect suggestion to you guys. So a form of an indirect suggestion would be, you can click the button, right? So this is also called an embedded command. So indirect suggestions effectively have what's called an embedded command in them. So an embedded command is when we say, click the button, and it's in that sentence, so it's in there, right? So a lot of times you may have read copy where someone says like, it says something like, if you like me, it will say like, if you, comma, like me, comma, know that you're capable of so much more. What they're doing is there's an embedded command that says, you like me. And so like that's a little bit of hypnotic programming. And so you'll see that happen in copy a decent amount. But so you can blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you can read the payment info off whenever you're ready. Not, what credit card do you want to use? Nope. I want to use an indirect suggestion. You can read the credit card info off whenever you're ready. Right? Major difference. Major difference. Major difference. And so this was something that I had just used on the sales call, right? And so I said, if you give me a credit card right now, then what will happen is in 7 days, we'll make intros. Right? So if you give me a credit card right now, then in 7 days, we'll make intros. And so with that embedded command in there, it helped grease the groove and made the process a fuck ton easier. So that's just a little subtle tool that you guys can use. So if you blah, 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 you can blah, blah, blah. The process is blah, blah, blah. From here, what we do is blah, blah, blah. Normally, what we do is blah, blah, blah. Yeah, typically what happens is blah, blah, blah. These are all formats for you to set up your guys' embedded commands and indirect suggestions. Right? So, when we get started today, you'll get an email in about 30 minutes from now. Right? When you run Facebook ads, you'll blah, blah, blah. And so that's what I'm saying. I'm embedding that command inside of those phrases. It's really subtle, but I want to make sure, are you guys picking up what I'm putting down right now? Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down right now? I want you guys to design some of these and to start playing with them too, because these are some of your most powerful tools. Someone says, so there's a question that I'm getting. Let me see. I think it's Tyler that's asking the question, but does it work better with leaving the first call? So no, it doesn't work better or worse in any other context. This is one of those things that's like a tool, and this tool is something that's used all throughout for the most part. Especially though, I especially use this tool at the close. So You may have heard the term closing questions, and it's something that's always been a little bit of a pet peeve of mine is closing questions. So if you read good sales letters on swiped.co, which I'd recommend you guys do. So if you read a good sales letter on swiped.co, what you'll find is that when they get to the close, they start telling people what to do. They don't ask questions at the end. They start giving indirect suggestions and embedded commands. And I've been a big believer that closing is not asking questions, that selling is asking questions. But once they're sold, someone needs to take charge and tell them what to do. And this is where a lot of people lose their deals at the tail end of calls, is because they're afraid to take control and take charge and tell this person what to do. Because the reality is most of your buyers don't know your sales process, and so they're just going to follow your lead, and they're going to do whatever you tell them to do, or whatever that they whatever you're signaling for them to do. So if you're getting a lot of people who are asking you to send info or whatever, it's because you're signaling that uncertainty, and so they're just modeling that. And as opposed to when you have the certainty of like, if you give me a credit card right now, this is what will happen. That's a highly certain statement. And as a result, then they'll start to follow along with your level of certainty. So, major key, hope that you guys got that. Now I want to see you guys play with this. It's really a big deal. Like, it's subtle, it's small, it doesn't seem like a big deal, but it really, really is a big deal. It will affect your guys' sales process a lot. And mastering embedded commands and indirect suggestions is one of those things that you'll see now when I'm doing my cold calls and all this stuff. You'll now be able to be aware of it, because a lot of times I'm doing this stuff even unconsciously, but you guys will now be aware of it when you're watching the over-the-shoulder calls, and you'll be able to hear them. And what I want you guys to do is, when you're watching some of the over-the-shoulder calls, if I do an embedded command, I want you guys to type out in the chat whenever you catch one. So if ever you're watching me do live sales or any of that stuff and you see an embedded command, put that in the chat. I want to know that you guys are paying attention and that you guys are catching those things. And then in doing that, you're going to find some really good embedded commands that you'll be able to use for yourself, and should be able to help you guys out big time. So let's see what we got. I'm going to hit some dials really fast. We don't have a lot of time, but I'm at least going to see what we can do in the next 7 minutes. So let's hit it. All right. Where's the dial? That's weird. So I'm trying to dial real fast. GHL's bugging me out. Could it be that thumb? I don't know. Alright, I'm going to try dialing another one. I might have some error on my Twilio, so... Yeah, something looks like it's messing up here. I'm not able to get an outbound dial out, so... Fuck. Figure out why. In the meantime, while I'm figuring this stuff out, I'm gonna take a look and see if I can get it rolling before I hit 1. I don't think I'm gonna. There we go. Heck yeah. I just got a message from a client. He just closed the deal, which I'm pretty pumped on for him. Let's see. Boom. Put whatever. Gus said, I just used an embedded command to get my lady to make me a sandwich. Yeah, I've done that before, right? I would be guilty as charged for that for sure. If you make me a sandwich, if you're hungry, you can make me a sandwich. All right, sweet. Someone said I just did it. What did I do? I didn't even realize I did it. Damn it. When did I say it? I know, right? I'm going to be in trouble. All right, so I think you guys, I have some issues on my Twilio I'm going to figure out, so I'm probably not going to be able to hit any dials in the meantime here. I'm going to wrap this thing up a little bit early. I hope you guys got a lot out of the embedded commands. The big thing I want you guys to do is take this and play with these. That's really going to be the most fun. Like, you guys figure out, write sentences. I sometimes whenever I get new tools like this too, I'll sit down and I'll just handwrite and I'll start brainstorming like 25 to 50 of them. One thing too, just this is worth for you guys. Oh, that's actually a fucking great point. Yes, someone says I gave an embedded command to take notes. And that's true. I actually do. Whenever I tell you guys to take notes, I'm usually using an embedded command, and that's completely unconscious. Like, I'm not even thinking about it when I'm doing it. So that's funny. But one thing I want to encourage you guys to do is, as you guys are writing copy, like whether you're writing a headline or you're writing a contrast statement or you're writing any of these types of tools and these rhetoric tools that we've gone over, one thing I want you guys to be doing when you're writing these down is to make way more than you actually need. So Rick Rubin had coached the Red Hot Chili Peppers on making some of their best albums. And one of the things that he told them that they had to do was if they wanted to make a hit record or a single, they had to make 5 records. So if they wanted to make 1 record, they had to make 5 records. And then when they wanted to make an album, so let's say 10, 12 tracks, they had to make 25 tracks. So he made them produce way more than they actually needed in order to get the best of the best stuff. So I want to encourage you guys to do that. If you look in the patterns of nature, nature always produces more than is necessary in order to cull the losers and then allow the best to perform. So you'll notice that that's how we design our ramp process and everything. But I want you guys to take that as well with your copy when you guys are building out your rhetoric tools like this stuff. So that is that. I hope you guys got a lot out of it. I want you guys to write some embedded commands and then also in some of these implied indirect suggestions, and then I want you to write them and put them in the comments here on the video later. So that's that. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'll see you guys soon. Close some deals, change some lives, make some money.